Hello and welcome, my name is Simon Says. A lot of my viewers have been asking for my settings because their game ran like shit, like it did for most of us when we bought the game and booted it up for the first time. Well, for the last 4 years, I've been using the same method when it comes to optimizing and tweaking both the game and Windows, and from my experience and a lot of my viewers' experience, it's actually helping them in gaining just a little bit more frames and removing some of the stutters. The first thing we're gonna go for is Windows. We're gonna hit Start, go into your control, like so. Go into System. Do keep in mind this is in Danish, okay? Don't get too confused. Just try follow up here. Power settings, and then here you want to go for the advanced settings. Always go for max performance, as in let your PC eat all the power at once. But there is one up here, and this is again on Danish, but it's something about what happens when you hit your power on and off button on your PC. Go in there, then you want to edit settings, like so. On default, this one here should say something about quick boot enabled. Disable it. The reason being is that when you turn off your PC nowadays with Windows 10, doesn't actually turn off your PC completely. So all the memory it has been storing on your PC during your PlayStation is still stored on your PC when you reboot it, because it's just going into a hibernate. By doing this, you remove that. So whenever you actually restart your PC or you power it down and power it up again, it's gonna come up clean, all the memory leaks have been wiped off, and you're ready to go play again. Now for Xbox Live Game Bar. Again, go into control panel, and now you're gonna hit games, or in Danish, Spil! Turn it off. Simple as that. Hit this one. Well, you just need to go in there and turn it on. Job's done. Now, for the game, open up your launcher, hit the arrow for settings. You want to hit this one. When I launch the game, exit the launcher completely, because then it doesn't run in the background, eating some of your memory. Scroll down until you can see game directory, hit it. Then you just want to find EscapeFromTarkov, next file, hit it, properties, compatibility. Now you want to deactivate full screen optimization. You want to hit the advanced settings here for the DPI, check mark this one, and hit application. Okay, enable, go, done. So if you're brand new to the game, or maybe even just FPS game, there's a little tip for you. If you are using NVIDIA graphic cards, go into your control panel. In here you can find something about color settings, and what you want to do is turn your gamma up all the way to 1.25. Your monitor might look a little bit weird now, like washed out, but what this is going to do for you is when you're running around in Tarkov, going into dark places with dark corners, you're gonna have a way easier time now spotting players ratting around in the corners. Nobody wants to die by a rat in the corner. Looking at you, rat. Coming for you. Last little tip before we boot up the game, server selection. This is set to auto when you boot it up for the first time. Do not go in with auto. Hit it. Hit the ping selection. Then recommend go for 1 or max 2 servers, but here you can actually see where the server is located, what the average time it takes for the servers to actually collect the players and then boot up the next raid, and you have the ping. So again, of course, the lower the average matching time is, the more populated the server is, of course. The reason for this is that if you hit a server that is either going to be a bit too overpopulated for you, or you start to see players that is a bit iffy when it comes to killing you, like perhaps cheaters, then it's easy for you to just go out, pick a new server, boot the game up again, and try that. So now we are in Tarkov, hit the cogwheels, put on automatic RAM cleaner. It can help you in removing some of the stutters. The one under here only uses physical cores. Try it and see what works for you. There's no go-to here, it's more like change from rig to rig is the best option to use here. Also, when it comes to main menu background, the preload hideout can be handy if you have enough RAM for it. If you're sitting with a rig with 32 GB of RAM, sure, use it. If not, I'd rather not do it. the graphics settings, the first thing I do every time I put up the game is go into the screen mode, hit borderless, save, go back in again and hit full screen and save. The reason being that sometimes you boot up Tarkov and it does say it's running full screen, but it's actually not. Just to ensure that it is running a proper full screen mode, do that first. If I were you, I'd just do a copy paste of these settings, because the game is so well optimized that, wow, the impact from this. Nah, I mean, the settings I'm running right here is a balance between having good graphics, decent graphics, not good, decent graphics, but a graphics setting that makes me able to spot players moving pixels at the distance, while giving me the best possible frames. Texture quality high, shadow quality low, object LOD 2.5, full visibility 1000, anti-aliasing TAA high. Do not go for FXAA. It's either you're gonna go for TAA high or off. Resampling, let it be as it is. NVIDIA DLSS. So this is a weird one. If you enable this, you have different options, yeah? I would go for either balanced or quality, never performance, because the game is gonna look so fucking horrible that you can't spot anything anymore. But this is a weird one, because in most cases, if your graphic card is able to use the DLSS, I believe you're able to actually run the game perfectly fine without running DLSS. I know some would say, well, it's gonna give me another 20, 25, maybe even 30 frames, and more frames is better, right? Wrong. Because of the way it works. When you use the DLSS, it's gonna take screen resolution, then shrink it down, and then zoom in upon it. So it's gonna be more pixelated. And the worst part about it is that when you use scopes, zoom magnifications, you'll have a really hard time spotting players. Reason being, due to how it zooms in on a shrink down resolution, there's gonna be a lot of pixelating. Therefore, trying to snipe in the game with the DLSS on is fucking horrible. HBAO off, SSR off, Alabama filtering off, NVIDIA reflex, low latency on if you can, sharpness, whatever you like. Just do not go above 1.0 if you ask me. So the check marks. If you're really struggling still on the performance, hit the MIP streaming. I use it. I'm used to use it now, so I actually prefer running the game with the MIP streaming compared to not. It's gonna remove some of the higher quality textures in the game and make them more muddy, but that can also aid you in your abilities to spot players. I mean, less details can make you able to spot silhouettes easier. Alright, so now we're in the game, and I'm gonna go over my PostFX settings because I actually believe that it's gonna make it more easy for you to spot players. It does come with the cost of a little bit of frames, but let's have a look at it. So here is default settings of Tarkov. It's washed out, it's boring to look at, it's grey. Now it hits the PostFX. Colors! These are my settings when it comes to PostFX. Pause, copy if you like it. If you're out running on a rig that can handle it, hitting up the adaptive sharpen and the clarity can make it even easier for you to spot players. But look at the frames, it dipped down even further. Can you handle it or not? And also, if you're gonna go for maps where you're gonna do a lot of sniping, stay in the same positions, trying to do those long shots, then it can actually be worth turning these knobs up because it's gonna make it easier for you to spot things in the move. Color grading, Montreal, color blind mode. The reason for this is gonna be boosting the green. Like, look at the grass. Yeah, it's actually green, making it easy for me to spot guys laying down and prone in the grass. So nighttime in Tarkov, we're hitting the night vision here. That's a lot of green, and we can make that better. We do that by hitting the PostFX. First of all, when you're doing nighttime, I would recommend that your brightness go all the way down. Saturation, all the way down. Then for the color grading, you want to hit the feather. Boost it all the way up to 80. Black and white, night vision. A lot better for the eye, yeah? A little tip for you when you're gonna go and do nighttime with night vision is always check your scopes in the hideout or offline mode to see if it's gonna be working with your night vision goggles. Like, let me give you an example here. This is fine. You can use this, but if I go into the sniper scope, yeah, good luck spotting with this shit. However, if I turn over to my yellow little RFB here, first of all, the dot in itself is better. It's more tight, not that glaring. The same go for the scope in here, like the ring, whatnot. This is useful. So I hope this was useful to you. If you like what you've seen, like the setting here and me as a person on camera, you're welcome to comment and say hi on my Twitch channel. Link down below. Alright, take care and happy hunting in Tarkov. See ya.